On new shotguns, all the barrels are actually listed with the size of the shell. Unfortunately, there are many different sizes, and if you have early shotguns before they invented 2 3/4, for example, sometimes they aren't even marked. Now, usually to know, you have to find the actual depth of your chamber. So the best ways to do it are to either send it into a gunsmith, take it to a gunsmith, and they'll do it because they usually have the gauges and everything for them. Or you can make your own gauges. There's 2 ways to do that. The first way is you get a piece of steel, round piece of steel, and with a lathe you bring it down to the upper chamber diameter of the specific shotgun you well, the specific gauge of shotgun you have. So a 12 gauge, for example, should be 7/9/8 of an inch, and if you moved over to a 10 gauge, it should be 0.841 of an inch. So once you do that, you're able to drop the metal bar down into your chamber and measure it from where it stops to the place that your shell will basically end in the chamber. The second way is, as you can see here, a really cheap sheet metal one. This isn't going to be as accurate, but it works really well. And as you see, this side here is a 12 gauge one, so that's at 0.798 of an inch. And this side here is a 10 gauge one at 0.841. I do that because my 2 types of guns that I have are those 2 types of shotguns. You then mark, for example, on the 10 gauge one, 2 7/8 at 2 inches and 7/8 and 3.5 inch. 12 gauge, I have from 2.5, 2 5/8, and 2 3/4 on here. Anyways, I'll show you how to use a gauge now. So if you're going to use your gauge, in this case, I'll use a 10 gauge side because here I have a Browning BPS 10 gauge. So I know it's already 3.5 inches, but if you didn't know, take your gauge, slide it in, as you see, it stops at 3.5 inches. Alright, we have my Browning here. The shell goes right up to here when it's in normally. So as you see, 2 7/8. Alright, use a 12 gauge side. As you see, goes right to the 2 3/4 mark, which means it's for modern shells. And then if we use it on my Burgess here. So as you see, it's between 2.5 and 2 3/4, which makes it 2 5/8, which is the right length for it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. Hope this helps some people out. Important, if you don't trust your own skills to get this at the right level, go see a gunsmith. They'll be able to measure for you. I don't know how much I'll charge you to do it, but at least that way you know you aren't messing with anything and you will get it right and you won't blow up your gun or put more strain on it than should be. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any comments, please just leave it underneath the video. Any questions, same thing. Thanks again.